When you get thirsty, do you reach for a Coke, an ice drink, Diet, Propel, Gatorade to quench that thirst? No. You pop it open and you take a nice sip and you get a rush, a taste of all that delicious, sugary, addictive cancer. In the London Institute, they did an experiment on mice. The team administered different dosages of Circloids to the mice and compared their immune reactions to different mice that were given saccharin. The results from this study were disheartening. The T cells, or white blood cells, of the mice had shrunk compared to the sodium saccharin, and the immune systems were severely damaged. While that was going on, there was another study using mice putting 15% of aspartame into their water, the FDA-regulated maximum amount for our own beverages. The study showed that their anxiety was elevated, and that the anxiety was passed down multiple generations. Type 2 diabetes has also never been higher. With all the artificial sweeteners we have in our every single meal, there was also another study done using people who had predetermined mental health issues. It was found that they were extremely vulnerable to all of the harmful side effects that these artificial sweeteners bring. It was found that it had such an extreme impact on them that they had to stop the trial early. This could have all been avoided because when the mice were given diazepam, brand name Valium, they stopped displaying anxiety disorders across all of the affected generations. Currently, we have the ability to put non-harmful sugars in our food and drink, but these companies don't care. They're choosing profits over the people. On August 17th, 2023, a lawsuit was filed against Splenda for false advertisement. They advertised that their artificial sweetener was healthy, even though it was a mostly sucralose-based product. And it was proven misleading because it worsens type 2 diabetes along with a host of other issues. This wrongful advertisement is seen in everything that holds artificial sweeteners. They are aware of these risks. Research has shown that artificial sugars in our consumables are causing irreversible damage to our bodies. There's a huge want and need for this change being seen in society and everyday people. A study by the World Health Organization, or WHO, has advised against artificial sweeteners, stating it has an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and mortality in adults. The dangers of packing your diet full of these harmful false sugars is irreversible. Multiple studies were published showing that it only takes from 1 to 4 drinks to start causing these problems in your body. These big corporations don't care about your body. They don't care what they're putting in it. Artificial sweeteners are addictive. There was a study done on rats where they were given saccharin and cocaine. Almost every single time, they chose saccharin. During the study, they found that saccharin had a similar chemical brain changes as cocaine and heroin. The brain areas involved were learning, memory, and emotional regulation were heavily impacted by these sugars. The animals seemed to show the same characteristics of substance use disorder. They also absorbed binging and, once it was taken away from them, withdrawal symptoms. And the sugar then makes our brain release a reward, or dopamine. And this reinforces the need for these sugars. And it causes people to have huge sugar cravings. All of this sugar in people's diets alters their taste buds. and makes other foods seem less flavorful. People then also tend to overeat because they're drinking diet soda and they're being healthier. And this all leads to a decline in a person's overall health, changing their taste, body, and chemical makeup. The key to resolving this is to make these companies stop putting these harmful sugars in our bodies. Utilizing petitions in order to push legislators to create more regulations on what type of sugars can be found in our products. There are multiple petitions already collecting signatures, such as remove sucralose, a potent gen toxic, from Coca-Cola recipes, and stop hiding artificial sweeteners in our food, which has over 26,000 signatures. That shows that there is a desperate need for this change. You can go to change.org right now and sign both of these petitions and help show these companies that we no longer want all of these artificial sweeteners in our food, and force them to see and make this change right now. In conclusion, we have gone into depth about how artificial sweeteners damage our bodies, like causing cancers, problems with different organs like the heart, liver, mental illness, depression, and anxiety, highly elevated on any and all artificial sweeteners, and how so much more that I can't even mention in this time have been affecting our bodies. We need to force the government to start putting changes in to fix these issues, to create more regulations against these artificial sweeteners. So, next time you go to grab a drink, hopefully next time you'll grab a water or something a little healthier. Or the next time you reach for soda, it'll be sweet, addictive, cancer-free.